All right, welcome back to Capture School. And today we're going to talk a little more with Mark Wallace. Hey, Mark, how you been?
Very good. Thanks for
Good.
having me back.
So I think this time we should talk a little bit about your future plans. You're back here taking a little bit of a break, still working, but you'll be heading off again.
Yes. So I am about 4 or 5 days, maybe a little bit
Oh,
more,
wow.
of heading down to Mexico. So I'll be in Mexico meeting with some friends for about 2 weeks, just a little mini vacation.
Cool.
And then I'm headed to South America. So the plan is to, after I went everywhere in the world, I was looking for places where maybe I could settle. And the three choices really were Paris, France, which I lived there for a summer and absolutely love it. I can't afford it. South Africa, which is spectacular, and Colombia. So Colombia is just this really amazing place. So really what I'm doing is I'm riding down to Colombia. And then this year, I'm only going to be there for about 6 or 8 weeks, something like that. And then I'll continue down to Patagonia so I can get there in the summer, which would be January, February.
Right.
Then I'll zip over to Buenos Aires and see some friends and then head back north to Colombia, where I'm going to see if I can stay there for, 6 months maybe, and try it out. Maybe less than that, depends on visas and legal status and all that kind of stuff. But the plan is to sort through, I've got basically 5 years of travel videos and photography and experiences and things. And because of the travel schedule, I haven't been able to keep up with the blogs and the website and the writing.
Okay.
It's very, very difficult to be able to do that if you're traveling, and you also have deadlines to do things like Adorama TV.
Yeah.
So all this personal stuff I haven't really been able to do. So I want to settle down, do that, and then I'm toying with writing a book about the travel. So a lot of people have asked me to do that,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
can
not
see a
really
book in there somewhere.
not really a fan of doing it, but I love writing, and if I'm in the same place and I'm in a good headspace and I can find the time to do it and do it right, then I probably will. So that's sort of what's next, is to try to go from constant travel to bring it down a little bit where I'm just doing maybe some regional travel. But I'll probably spend most of next year in South America. But I'll be back in November for sure.
Oh, yeah?
Very important day in November of 2020. So I'll be here for that.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no plans beyond that. You're not really sure. So you're just trying this out, going to get your own place and that kind of thing.
Well, to live overseas as an expat, you have to have, either you can do like 3 months at a time and do 6 months total.
Okay.
Or you have to get your full business visa. And that puts you in a totally different legal realm.
Okay.
And so I would really have to make sure I was doing that right. So it's not as simple as saying, hey,
I'm just going to stay.
You can't do that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to try it, see how it goes. And then if it's something that I really connect with, then I'll go through the next steps to see if I can do that. More than likely what I'll do is I'll return to Arizona, have a home base here, and then I'll be doing regional trips and leading groups and tours and still traveling, but just not nonstop for 6 years at a time.
Yeah. Because I was going to ask you, because
when does it end?
You've traveled a lot,
right.
and clearly have a bit of wanderlust built into you.
Sure.
And you're going to start getting a little itchy just sitting in one place, or?
Yeah, so I've traveled as long as I can remember. So most people know me as a photographer, but I've been a traveler for much longer than I've been a photographer.
Okay.
And so it's always surprising to me, not surprising, but a little bit of a disjointed connection, I guess, when people say Mark Wallace, the photographer, because I don't see myself as that at all. I see myself as the explorer, traveler who happens to take pictures along the way to tell the stories. Mm-hmm. And I've been traveling. Like my first trip to Mexico, I was 7 years old. I went with my family, but right out of high school, I had a car and hit the road. I traveled for 13 years. So from high school until my early 30s, I traveled nonstop. Right. And then I settled down for a little bit to work at Intel. And then I'm like, I can't do it. And then, so yeah, I've traveled almost my entire adult life.
Wow. Well, thanks for stopping in and being so candid with us.
Absolutely.
And why don't you let everyone know how to get a hold of you and all the pertinent things?
The place to go to see Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff is just go to markonabike.com.
Okay.
If you go there, you can see links to all my photography stuff, the stories of the travel, a map of the travel routes, the stories of how it started, and part of the sort of settling down in South America is to build out things to answer in depth the questions like, how do you afford this? How do you budget? How do you do all the legal stuff? How do you cross oceans? How do you ship a motorcycle? How do you do a 2-week trip? How do you do, like, all the stuff that people want to know,
Yeah,
mostly about travel,
Mhm.
but it's also plugged deeply into all the photography stuff as well. So just markonabike.com.
Cool. Good luck to you, and we'll see you when you come back.
Absolutely.
All
Thanks
right.
so much.
Thank you.